Hello, everyone. MTL Sports here. We're back. Episode 158. NFL draft was this past weekend. Some headlines I'm sure all of you have seen. We will discuss a little bit of that, plus just go over a couple of the teams we thought might have had good drafts, some winners, some losers in the draft, some good picks, some bad picks, all those type of things. Plus, we will recap some of the first round of NBA playoffs and I guess NHL playoffs too, since you made those predictions. We have about, I think, 2 teams have been swept so far. Another one's going to be added to that tonight, so we will talk about that all coming up soon. So, with all that being said, guys, stay tuned. Let's do the NFL first. NBA won't take us too much of our time tonight. So, we're recording on Monday. NFL draft ended Saturday. I guess let's take some quick thoughts about the draft, Lawrence. What do you think overall? This draft was a little weird for a lot of different reasons. What are your first, I guess, takeaways from the draft, just overall?
First off, they did a lot of international fans. I thought that was kind of weird. Second off, it felt like there was a guest announcer for almost every other pick after the second round. Um, I thought in the especially round one, the amount of time it allotted in between each pick, even though it said the pick was in, and it would be another 10 minutes where the pick was announced, and then there was always like 2 minutes left for the next team coming up. Like it
Uh-huh.
felt like there was a lot of time being wasted.
I agree.
Um, I don't know if Green Bay was the best place to have it. Like there wasn't even a lot of. I don't even think there was a lot of hype from the fans actually there. Like it didn't seem like it was very loud. Also, I thought it was really dumb that they kept booing Roger Goodell at the very beginning,
Yeah.
excessively long. It's like, sorry, he hasn't really, in my opinion, in the last few years at least, done anything where I'm like really annoyed and pissed off at. To kind of just like get over it. Like he's done some bad things in the past. We won't lie, but
Mm-hmm.
we haven't been writing home to him multiple times. Um, I don't know. I feel like it was very defensive heavy. I think the draft was defensive loaded.
Yeah, I agree. Going back to the Goodell part, we eventually have to do this episode. It might be during the summer when we don't have anything to talk about, but just ranking the best commissioners in all the sports leagues in North America. I mean, Goodell's the best one. I mean, in the past, yeah, he's done some stuff. Well, we won't talk about that, but I mean, as far as we're talking about today, present day, he's the best by far. It used to be, maybe you go back to the David Stern era, he was probably the best, but Rogers definitely, taking a mantle there, and I don't understand the fans and their constant booing of him. But back to the draft, yeah, definitely. I would say takeaways. It was definitely like lineman heavy, both offense and defense. I think a lot of teams reach for linemen on both sides. We saw that in the first round and in the second round, and a little bit in the third round too. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of defensive guys too, like the corners. Um, Linebackers too going earlier than they probably should have. It was really weird. And then some of these first round guys sliding to the back of the second. I think some of these first round graded guys slipped into the third. I think early third. So it's a little weird about that. And of course the Shador thing, that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, it was a lot of weird things happening. I don't know what caused it, but um, it was definitely one of the weirder drafts in recent memory. Now going back to the Shador thing, if you guys don't know already, first round graded guy, probably 99.9% of all mock drafts had Shador going in the first round. At the very least, pick 21 to the Steelers. He fell to the fifth round. I believe the Browns traded back into the fifth to go grab him. They had already grabbed Gabriel, the quarterback from Oregon. What was it, like the back half of the third or the fourth? They already
Third.
grabbed him. And then for some reason they go ahead and grab Shador. Um, this is perplexing because I've never seen this happen. Usually you see a guy slip out the first, Maybe he slips to the third, but like you slip all the way to the fifth, and quarterbacks that you were graded higher than by like 99% of the experts falls to the fifth round. And I'm not really hearing a good explanation, even by some of these so-called pundits that I kind of listen to the most. Lawrence, can you explain it? Because I can't really find a reason.
Oh, I know the exact reason. The exact reason is nobody thinks for the value that he is that dealing with the Dion brand is worth it. I think that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
In this class, you would probably say that it is not quarterback heavy. It's kind of Cam Ward, and he separated himself against the rest. And you look at those videos where it was a training day with Cam Ward and Shador. Cam Ward did kind of call him out multiple times about being, a daddy's boy and a nepo, and he kind of had, actual reasonings, and he was following through with what he's saying. Like they said, they went through one drill, and then Shador had to go walk off and go to the media and drink some Gatorade because that's his brand, and that's cool. That's how you want to get paid. But I'm pretty sure Shador walked into people's offices and said what he was going to do for them, and they don't do that in the National Football League. No one's bigger than the league, and I'm pretty sure that's just from his father's brand that he's got rubbed off like that. And there's just a lot of teams, especially like the New York teams, they can't be having that while they're in the Big Apple. That's too much distraction. They don't want that. And he was gonna have to go to a crappy team that was just gonna have to accept the outside comments, the outside noise that will come with his father. And honestly, it makes it more comical that his father retired his number at Colorado. Like it makes it way more comical because it proves that like he wasn't even that good. Because in reality, like he wasn't even that good.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I agree with most of what you said. I think when you look at it, I think Cam Ward is probably the best quarterback in the draft. I think there's no doubt about that. But I mean, you can't honestly make a case that any of these other guys are better than Shador, because with what he had, he was pretty impressive in the second season of Colorado, opposed to some of these guys like Dart, Gabriel, who else got picked in front of him? The guy from Louisville.
Well, also Jalen Miller got picked before him, so I mean
Yeah.
that's all you need to be said. Jalen Miller was nothing to write home about. I don't know, but Jackson Dart, I can arguably say like he's a decent quarterback. He was valued high enough to be picked in the first round. I figure you can let the Jackson Dart one slide, especially since he played at Ole Miss and had to go against all those top SEC schools this past season. I mean, he had to go through Georgia. He had to go through Alabama. I mean, he played good teams. He will be competent in the league. And you look at who Colorado played, and they didn't really play anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, for myself, I can't really pit Dart above him. Can't pit this Tyler guy above him. Jalen Milroe, he's a project to me. He could be better than Shador one day, but I mean, as of right now, no. And Gabriel, no. I mean, he got obliterated in the college football playoffs. Can't really say nothing about him. So I mean, with what he had, he did some pretty impressive things. Don't really get how he slid to the fifth round. I get the whole hey, you have to deal with Dion thing, and then maybe you, in the back of your mind, you're worried that Dion might take your job one day if you're the head coach. So I get that, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I would never ever think that this would happen. But like you said, you gotta follow the league's rules. You gotta bow down to the league. You gotta be really humble and basically pray your way into their grasp. Like, please give me a job, please, please, that type of thing. So I understand that he didn't really follow those type of things that you usually have to do to get people to want to take you. And so that rubbed all 32 teams the wrong way, and I get that. So I guess this is a lesson to everyone else that you don't do what Shador did. So it's unfortunate, but I think he'll. I mean, the Browns quarterback room is a little atrocious at the moment. You trade for Kenny Pickett, Deshaun's out for another year. You bring in Joe Flacco. You draft two quarterbacks in the first round. Like, what the hell are the Browns doing, Lawrence? Like, I can't really. I guess they're the first loser. Like they don't know what the hell they're doing.
I mean, that's a fair statement. There is nothing to make of the Browns. They're just kind of a joke.
Yeah, I mean you can't really. Can't really. I can't really make light of what they did. I mean trading that pick away to Jacksonville, I get, but other than that, you can't really convince me they knew what they were doing. So, going back to we talked about the draft. Do you have any thoughts about your Panthers? Do you like the picks they made? I know we were texting about the McMillan. Is that his name, McMillan?
Yeah,
Uh,
Tedero.
do you like that pick? How do you feel about it after a couple of days of sitting on it? How do you think they did overall?
So personally, I think they did really good. I was looking at something. Tedero McMillan. I mean, he's automatically going to be slotted in there as like the number one guy.
Hmm.
He allows you to be a big body like Mike Evans. So technically, you have like a Mike Evans and an AJ Brown hybrid build. You're both two wide receivers starting. Coker was a really great route running guy last year. Also on the taller end. That's why I think getting Jimmy Horn Jr. in this, I think sixth round, was a great, really speedy wide receiver. Great move. Mitchell Evans. Only thing you got to say about Mitchell Evans is he's a tight end out of Notre Dame. If Iowa is tight end university, Notre Dame is tight end college. I mean, all good. There's a lot of good tight ends that come out of Notre Dame, so
Yep.
I can only have positive thoughts for that. But I think McMillan allows the passing game, especially with the addition of Hunter Renfro right after the draft. I think you get an answer for Thielen. If Thielen can't play all 17 games and probably may get injured because he's an old man. He's probably got one more year left, so retirement. You can have if Renfro works out, he can fill in. But I think it gives Bryce Young the perfect amount of weapons to run the score up like he did last year on teams, and to get an expansion in the offense. And then Scorton and Princely, they're edge rushers, but they complement each other because they do different things. Instead of just getting two guys to do the same thing, I think it's a good compliment. I think it's important because if you add them and they're good, you can actually cut Jatavion Clowney. I wouldn't say you should because he could teach him something, but you can and save $6 million and then spend some money on someone else, somewhere else. I think Trevor Etienne as a power back is a good move. Lathan Ransom, the safety, we need safety help, and he go to Ohio State, so he's good. And then Cam Jackson as a nose tackle to be a run stuffer. Great rotational piece with Derek Brown and Shy Tuttle. I think overall it was a good move. It really impacted the offense that we're going to score 7, 10 more points than we did last game per game. Hopefully with the new expansion to our offense. And then the defensive side of the ball, hopefully we can shave off 7 to 10 points that we allowed last game or last season. So then now we can actually maybe win those 7-point games that we kept losing last year.
Fair enough. I like it. I like it. Right. I think on ESPN they gave you. I think Mel Kiper gave you guys a C plus. I think that's a little harsh. I think you guys are in the B territory. Definitely
Well,
did better than my
sorry.
Bengals. Oh, go ahead.
According to Pro Football Focus, there was only 3 teams that got an A plus, and Carolina, Arizona, and the Dallas Cowboys are only 3 teams that get an A plus according to Pro Football Focus. Um,
Mm.
which we always take their stats, so I kind of just thought they were a good source to get it from. But to segue off that, like Arizona having an A plus, I don't know if you checked out Arizona's draft haul, but Walter Nolan in the first round, you could tell Arizona knew one thing about their team, and that was their D line was bad, and
Yeah.
it hurt them staying in games. So they got Walter Nolan to prove run stopping. We got Will Johnson, who somehow slipped to the second round. I get he was injured, but should not have slipped that
N-
far.
Knee
Good
problems.
lockdown.
I heard
Yeah.
he did like a scan, and I think that they said the risk of re-injuring his knee and the likelihood of it being like career ending is like very very high. It's like we're talking D Rose territory, like high. Like if he gets injured again, like it's going to be his knee, and it's like a high chance it's going to be like devastating. So I see why.
I still like it though. And then they got Jordan Birch to also supplement that D line, and then they got a linebacker in Cody Simpson, which is what they were thin in. They almost didn't have any linebackers against Carolina last season. They all got hurt. They got Denzel Burke, a cornerback. He provides depth. He was at Ohio State, so he's not bad. The Hayden Cooper guy. Fun fact about him: a 6th-round steal. But he had no sacks allowed on 617 attempts last season. That's not bad. That really is not bad. And then their last guy, Crawford, special teamer. That's what they need. I just thought overall they did a really good job at covering their needs. And then, honestly, another team that I rated really high was the Titans. I thought the Cam Ward pickup, although we saw it coming, it was just a straight up just good move. Just take the best guy. Second round, Oladipo, pass rush help to Jeffrey Simmons. We're gonna get people off the, we're gonna get people out of there. They're not gonna run the ball over us. We're gonna get to the quarterback. They got a guy who missed injury, safety Kevin Winston. He missed 2024, but he had production before that. He's a ball hawk safety, really good. Jameer Dike, just a speedy wide receiver. I think it's really good. Gunnar Helm was Quentin Ewers' go-to guy to get a first down half the time if it wasn't Golden. So I think that's a really good, smart pickup. And then honestly, it used to start going down the line. But here's where I think it gets important. They picked up Xavier Respresso. He's undrafted. Now, I don't know how he went undrafted because he had 69 catches last year for 1,127 yards and 11 TDs. And that was Cam Ward's guy. That was who Cam Ward trusted the most. He threw the ball to the most. And Cam Ward literally just got to pick him up as an undrafted free agent. That's as smooth as you can get it. He's probably going to be Cam Ward's, number one guy on third down next season.
Nice. Yeah, the Titans, another team I thought had a pretty solid draft. Wasn't really following them too much, but I knew when their picks came on the screen, I was like, wow, that was actually a decent pick. So I think their GM and our old coach Brian Callahan, they're working together, making some good picks. I think the offense has a chance to be potent if they can. I think they need to get the running game back into how it was, but they have a decent chance to not be awful next year. Back to my Bengals, though. Yeah, I think the Bengals definitely in the C territory. Very questionable picks. Honestly, their picks got better the later on in the draft. I think they got value later in the draft, but early in the draft, bro, it was not good. At least what I would say is good was not good. Like Shamar Stewart, the Bengals tend to fall in love with guys that have a lot of potential. They love athletic traits, athletic ability, all the numbers and stuff like that. And I get it. Al Golden, the new DC, if he knows anything about these guys, it's Al Golden. He had a scout, a lot of them. And so he knows a thing or two about a lot of these college guys. But Shamar Stewart at 17 was not the pick, especially when you look forward to the second pick in the second round. Demetrius Knight, a guy that was projected to go third round. They reached for him. He anchored a top defense of South Carolina, but that was definitely a reach. If you knew you needed a linebacker so bad, like I said last week, you go get Jahad Campbell, who's a hybrid. He can definitely play linebacker, but also if you need him to rush on third down, he can come off the edge too. Very Micah Parsons-ish, So I think that would have been the pick, and the Eagles traded with the Chiefs to make sure they got Jahad Campbell. I think they picked him at pick 31. So that was a bad. In my estimation, it's a bad pick. Stewart's more of a project, and they need a guy that's going to help them win now. Same with Knight. Fairchild, of the two Georgia guards, I think he was the lesser. I think the other guy Ratliff, or I think I'm saying his name wrong, but he got picked by the Lions in the second round. He was the better of the two guards there. Fairchild's still good, still can fight in the trenches. He's good in pass protection, but I think in run and the run offense, um, he can struggle a little bit. So that's my only gripe about him. But then once you get down to the fourth round, like Barrett Carter, good pickup right there, good linebacker with Pratt, asking for a trade. He's probably getting traded. If not, he's probably getting cut. So you have a backup linebacker right there. Jalen Rivers, good guard in Miami. Same as Fairchild, like good in pass protection and run blocking. He's okay. And then Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. I think the only one of the only running backs, if not the only one, to go for back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons. This guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He can catch. He can break big runs. So I'm really impressed with Taj Brooks. I didn't know much about this kid, but once I started watching his highlights, I was like, yeah, this guy's gonna be good. He's gonna be a good addition to the running back room. P. Ryan, he's an old man. I wouldn't expect him to be more than a third down back, but if they cut Zach Moss, I think they have an insurance policy to cut Zach Moss and then go with a two-headed monster with Chase Brown and Taj Brooks. I think they'll both complement each other well, and they both can catch up the backfield. So I think Joey B will have a fun time with him. So yeah, I give them like a C plus. Like the Bengals just don't know how to draft well, and you think with a new DC coming in, he would kind of course correct and kind of help them pick better at defense, but these picks are reaches and they're not the best. So I don't know your thoughts, Lawrence, about some of these picks, if you have any.
No, I don't have any of yours. I just didn't think that overall you guys really hit on where you, I don't know, kind of needed. Personally, for me, I think there was a lot of good O linemen still available in the first round that you should have just went with the guarantee. Good protection for Burrow, guarantee it, solidify it, shore it up. No question marks. Just like you said, there are no point. Or, no, sorry, they're not at a point in their team. If they were the Eagles, yes, maybe they can take projects, but you're not in the position for projects. You needed like the guaranteed hitters, and I personally don't think you got them, except maybe in the later rounds. But even then, I think you just needed to bulk up your lines, your O line and your D line, and you really just didn't attack either one. In my opinion, the correct way. It should just been a higher focus, even if it meant like moving around and trying to trade up for your drafts and drop a 6th-round pick to go up 4 spots to pick up somebody you may think you want. I don't know. There just should have been something. It just seemed like the Bengals just stayed put. They wrote it out and just took whoever they could at the moments they.
Yeah, no, I agree. They had good draft positioning. They just, I mean, it's too early to say, but they usually don't hit on these picks just by waiting around. They kind of just let people take their guys instead of being aggressive in a draft, like you're kind of alluding to. So I don't think Shamar Stewart's gonna be bad by any means, but we don't have the type of time to be waiting on a project. Even though I think he is the king of pressures, he had the most pressures in the FBS last year, but he has to work on closing the deal and sacking the quarterback. So as much as I love a disruptor, I love a guy that can, make tackles for loss and get in the backfield really easily. And in the NFL, bro, you gotta close the deal. So that's my knock against him. The rest of the AFC North, I don't think they really had a good draft. The Browns didn't, in my opinion. The Steelers didn't, in my opinion. Not getting a insurance policy for Aaron Rodgers, even if 99% that he's going to sign with you. Not really getting a good insurance policy. Picking up Will Howard, I don't think was the right move for them. They could have easily addressed it by taking Shedeur, but I guess Mike Tomlin didn't want to deal with that, which I agree. I agree with him. If you don't want to deal with that, that's cool. But you got to deal with a whole nother shit show that comes with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know which one you think is going to be worse. And then the Baltimore, I think Baltimore had a decent draft. They were getting value picks, getting the safety from Alabama. If I can find their freaking draft picks, Oh no, the safety from Georgia, Starks. Getting Mike Green, who slid to the back of the second round. He was first round graded. Emory Jones, good tackle out of LSU. Like they just got some good value picks. So the Ravens, I feel like they're the only team in the AFC North that had a good draft. What do you think?
From on paper, what you're showing me right there, it looks like a good draft. Now, I don't know a lot about each and every player on that. I did not do my due diligence, and
Mm,
I definitely don't watch enough college basketball, or sorry, college football to
football,
know
yeah.
each individual player. But what I know is if you drafted at least one Ohio State player on your draft, you did a good job because national champions.
Yeah, they had a stacked team. Um, Last but not least, at least of the NFL news, the Commanders it still has to go through DC Council and all the politicking and stuff, but they announced plans to build a new stadium at the RFK, I guess the old stadium RFK. Um, any thoughts, Lawrence? I've never been to RFK. I don't know. I mean, I've ridden by it on the metro, but I guess it's good. It'll be good to cut down on the metro ride instead of going all the way out to Maryland to just go watch a game.
Yeah, but I think gonna be the next funny thing is there's gonna be that huge stadium in the middle of nowhere now in Landover,
Yeah.
that has no purpose. Um, and then all those houses they built along that strip,
Yep.
that whole shopping center that's over there that probably fills up from Redskin tailgaters. Like there's just a lot of things over there that are just gonna immediately die. But in reality, it does make more sense that your stadium would be along your metro ride instead of having to walk a mile and a half from your metro ride.
Oh, it's a long walk too, and it's up and down down some hills. It can be grueling, man. Especially if you don't take Ubers or I guess there's shuttles too, but if you just walk it, yeah, it's pretty bad. NBA news. One team has been swept so far. The Thunder sweep the Grizz. We said this to begin with. We said, hey, the both 1-8 matchups. I think they're gonna be sweeps or gentlemen sweeps. The Heat will soon join the Thunder or the Grizzlies. They're getting their ass kicked right now. To be honest, I haven't even watched. Only game I really watched was Game 2 when they kind of blew that lead and let the Cavs come back. And they almost beat the Cavs at home or in Cleveland, I should say. But Miami just looks like a team that
They're
kind
getting
of
swept.
they're getting swept. They kind of make the playoffs to prove a point that they can make the playoffs without Jimmy, and now they're getting their ass kicked. So in all reality, they should have just left. They should have just lost so they could get a better pick. But
That's not in the cards.
that's not them.
Pacers are gonna beat. They're gonna cream the Bucks last game. I
Yep.
thought the Bucks might be able to do something, but Dame Dollar did not come back correct. Um, I thought the Pistons could make a little bit more noise against the Knicks. They look good in every single game. I'm not so sure that last game the Pistons did not get Beasley did not get fouled at the end of that game in the corner. Like
He did. The 2 minute report came out and they said he got filed.
I don't know. There's just so many times watching this series where I felt personally that the Knicks were getting favoritism. That's just personal opinion, but it felt like that a lot.
Yep.
The Magic, they got their one win, not to get to get the gentleman sweep. I think that was important. I still think Clippers in 6. I'm not backing off from it. I think Clippers in 6.
Fair enough.
I think that I would have felt more confident if they had won that last one, but I still feel the confidence in it. Honestly, your whole talk of Lakers in 5 has really spurred, and after watching last game, I did take the Timberwolves to win in 5. So T-Wolves in 5 at this point. I'm actually enjoying this Lakers collapse and destruction in the playoffs. Ant-Man is beating up that old goat James. Ant-Man is him. And then lastly, Warriors are unfortunately going to beat the Rockets. It is what it is.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you on two things: Lakers in 7, and goat we trust. Lakers in
You said
7.
in five though, so like
Uh,
seven doesn't mean anything to me.
Things can change. All right, it's been bad couple games. JJ is being outcoached. Clearly, as a rookie coach, he's being outcoached by
An even more rookie coach.
of all people, Flip Saunders. Now, to Flip's credit, he's not really playing Gobert a whole lot. Nas Reed's cooking whoever's in there. JJ's not really playing Jackson Hayes. So they're out there with what LeBron being the tallest and biggest player, which I mean they're just cooking. Nas Reed can cook LeBron at 40 years old. Like, come on now, like, and JJ playing everyone, playing the starters the whole second half, no subs. Like, that's just dumb. Game 4 is definitely on JJ. And if they lose the series, it's because of JJ. He's just getting out coached, plain and simple. With all the talk of, all the big talk of him on and LeBron on the podcast, JJ's kind of getting coached in circles right now. So hopefully he kind of humbles up and takes something from this playoff series. But I got the Rockets winning tonight. I think they tie it up. I know Jimmy's coming back, but the Rockets have the same problem as the Magic. They go through scoring droughts, and I don't really understand because they have the Thompson brother, and then they have Jalen Green, and even Sengun can score, and Fred VanVleet can shoot threes. I don't understand how they have a hard time scoring. The Warriors are good on defense, but they're not great. I don't really get it. Don't really understand it. I told you about the Nuggets and Clippers. I said they're going to split games at both sides, and then they're gonna win on each other's. On the home teams will win after that. So I got Nuggets in 7, and it's unfortunate for the Bucks. This is the end of the Giannis era in Milwaukee, at least. With Dame tearing his Achilles, he's probably not gonna play next year. So you're gonna get 3 or 4 years in a row of getting bounced in the first round. Yeah, Giannis, he's out, bro. He's out. Pistons, sadly, are going to lose, even though I picked the Knicks. And the Magic, honestly, could have probably tied the series 2-2 if they have some offense. Because they were putting straps on the Celtics. Like, if you watch, I watched a lot of the game yesterday, and they were strapping up Boston, but they just don't have any scoring outside of Paulo and occasionally Franz Wagner. Other than that, bro, they don't really have anyone that can make a shot. What's his name? Corey, what is that guy's name? Corey, look at the box score. God damn it.
You think Chris? Is it Chris?
Nah, he plays for the Wiz. Corey. He's starting now for the Magic. Corey Joseph, yeah. He's good at facilitating, but in terms of like scoring as much as they need to, he's not really doing the job. They just don't really have scores beside these two. I mean, Paulo's getting 30, Franz is getting 20. The rest of the stars kind of just suck. So it's tough, but the Magic have the defense, and I said they have the defense. They just don't have enough scoring. So, but back to the Bucks. Do you think Giannis leaves after this year, especially with Dame tearing his Achilles? He's going to be out probably next year too. I mean, it only makes sense. Why would you subject yourself to getting kicked out the first round again? Like, it's almost guaranteed.
I think since the loss of his coach, he will. I don't think he'll like the way they just did his coach like that.
What, Adrian Griffin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the coach before that.
Well, Budenholzer was definitely him. He definitely wanted Budenholzer gone. He definitely wanted Budenholzer gone. So that's definitely on him.
I didn't look into that deep. I don't watch the NBA offseason that much, and the ins and outs of it to pay that much attention. But I don't know. Giannis is Milwaukee at this point. I don't see who's gonna sell him on leaving, unless he is so title driven.
But how do you sell him on staying? Because the team can't improve. You don't have any picks, basically. You just have next year. It's just you and Kyle Kuzma. Is that really what you want?
Yeah, but some people just care about the staying with one place, and Giannis doesn't seem too much of a diva to top teams like that.
I don't know. He's kind of been hinting at it. He said he evaluates every season, and wants to be with the team that gives him the best chance of winning. And with this unfortunate Dame news, they're not going to win for another 2 years at least.
This may be true. I don't really watch the off season in the NBA to tell you in any way or the other.
Fair enough. But yeah, it sucks. Giannis is the top 3 player in the league, top 5 player by some. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. You want to talk about the NHL playoffs? I know the Caps are up 3-1, right?
I don't have anything for you in NHL yet. First round is still under. It's still in this microscope right now. We don't know anything right now in the NHL. It's interesting. I would say the NHL playoffs are more fascinating at the current moment than the NBA playoffs. There's a lot of good first round matchups and first round games, and I wouldn't say the same with the NBA other than the Clippers series. That has been the best series, and pretty much the only series that has stayed competitive game after game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. Last thing for me, at least, UFL. The Defenders somehow came back on, I think it was it Saturday or Sunday? It might have been Sunday. I think going into halftime, they were down, 15-27 or something? Like the Renegades were putting up points. And somehow Tiamu put the team on his back, and the defense kicked in. And they came back and won 37-33 on the road. Very impressive. I don't know if you caught this game, but I watched the first half, and I was like, we're not going to win this one. And then I looked back later in the day, and I was like, damn, they actually won? Very impressive.
I didn't watch any of it. I did watch the Brahmas versus Roughneck game.
Yeah.
And I did raise a big question mark of where was Destroying at, especially on the kickoffs.
He's not kicking?
He's not doing the kickoffs. I don't know if he kicked the extra point or the field goal. I missed it when it was on the TV, but he was not doing the kickoffs. It was the punter doing the kickoffs, which I did not understand. Honestly, I'm starting to, I wouldn't say diss, but starting to be disappointed with my boy Destroying so far.
Damn. I saw him cook. He kicked a couple field goals. I've seen the highlights, but yeah, that's a little weird that he's not doing the kickoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, he did get hit. He did get hurt on the kickoff last year, right?
How about you just don't lead? How about you don't try to tackle a guy with your neck? That should be your lesson.
No, you're right. Maybe he's a little traumatized. All right. Maybe he just doesn't want to go through that again. But I don't blame him. That's the only thing I got left. Anything else before we head on out?
No, I'm good with right there.
All right. MTL Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. All that good stuff. We will catch you later this week on Wednesday. Peace out, y'all.